All right, good morning. Welcome to Pulaski County Fiscal Court. We have a special called meeting today. This will be our last meeting of the fiscal year. Today I've asked Jason Turpin if he would open us up in the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'd all stand, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Jason. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from our previous meeting. You all have received a copy of those minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Magistrate Wielden, second by Magistrate Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item then will be old business. We've got fiscal year 2021 bid acceptance. We received our bids, and then the bid committee met this past week. What did bid committee decide with the bids?
We make a motion to accept all bids as reviewed.
Second.
We have a motion by Magistrate Strunk to accept all bids as reviewed, and a second by Magistrate Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next then will be our second reading of our 2021 budget. We had our first reading last month and approval from DLG. There's been a couple minor changes, I guess, but we do have our second reading here, and the total budget this year is $29,709,479. What would be your pleasure with the
Motion.
budget?
Second.
We have a motion by Magistrate Wielden, a second by Magistrate Strunk. Do we have any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Me.
Okay, well, I'll do all in favor and then I'll oppose, so you get a chance. All right, so we've got a split vote. Please have roll call.
Turpin,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Wilden,
Yes.
Ranshaw,
No.
Strunk.
Yes.
Motion carries then. Next item on the agenda, last court meeting, we appointed for library board appointment, and the gentleman has refused, I guess, to serve or declined to serve, and so I would like to recommend that we appoint Donna McFall to that 4-year appointment on the library board.
Motion.
Motion by Magistrate Ranshaw,
Second.
a second by Magistrate Wielden. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next then, we have a resolution, CAECO. You want to summarize that, PJ?
It's a resolution approving a lease for the financing of a project, providing for the payment and security of the lease, authorizing the execution of various documents related to such lease, and making certain designations regarding such lease. And I guess that's regarding CAECO.
Yeah, I guess it's with our trucks and tractors that we sold, now we're replacing those. I need to have permission to
How
execute
do
the
we do
documents.
on those, John?
We made really good money. I think we averaged right at, without having, it's somewhere between 30 and 60,000 on the triaxles.
Yes.
And then the tractor, I think it was right at 40-some thousand. And it's actually a good auction, but looking at next year's budget, we reduced, instead of getting 3 triaxles, we'll go to 2 triaxles. And then there's another tractor. The 2 tractors are for solid waste, and they will actually reimburse us for it. And it's essentially a roll-off that I think that the lease price is $115, but I think on the yearly, they're auctioning it somewhere between $145 and $165. So the city of Somerset has been doing it for years, and I looked at what they've done for the last 5 years before we added an additional tractor at our recycle center.
That's good.
The documents have been obviously delayed because working from home and because of the restrictions of the pandemic, and we were waiting to get the final document because there's a 60-day period that the price of the trucks, what we will get them at, could change. So I was waiting at the last minute so we can get the resolution signed.
I think one thing we learned this time, or from all the various times the 3 times we've done this, is the June auction is the one to go to. The June auction held, and I assume for all
Yeah.
relative purposes, it's because people start all their work in the beginning of summer rather than the end of summer. So, I don't know, but we do much better, so just we need to keep that in the back of our minds when we, as we keep this up.
And it's probably the end of the fiscal year for a lot of people that are purchasing equipment, so they've got money to
They're
spend.
waiting to see what they've got, left over and carry over.
We actually came ahead on the deal this time, right? We actually made money
Yeah.
as a county.
Yes. So if we made money this time and then the other 2 times, between the last 2 auctions, we exactly broke even. So still, that is
Get to use a brand-new truck for nothing.
correct. And I mean, that includes all the payments or the interest payments, et cetera. We totally broke even. That's amazing. So,
Good deal.
yeah. How many times can you
Motion
say
to
that?
approve this lease.
Second.
We have a motion by Magistrate Strunk and a second by Magistrate Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. And by the way, thank you, BJ, for being here. Just for the public knowledge, Martin's father-in-law passed away this past week. Is that right? Father-in-law passed away, so he's unable to be with us today, so BJ is filling in for him today. The next item then is we have a mechanical services contract that I need to sign. This is for preventive maintenance over at the AOC. This is the company that has been recommended to us that they would like to use at the AOC. It just, we have to be the one that signs the contract, and they send us bills. We get reimbursed by AOC, but it has to run through our court.
Motion.
Motion by Magistrate Turpin. Second by Magistrate Strunk. Any further discussion?
Yeah, this is 100% reimbursed, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know where my mind was, but yes, I went somewhere else in my brain.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We've got a few hires that we need to make here. First one is in 5th District, a mower operator. Recommend Charles Burton. He would be skilled labor, beginning on the 6th, right? Is that the start date on that?
Yes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Magistrate Strunk, a second by Magistrate Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And then second, we have 2 seasonal part-time positions to recommend. First would be Russell Lovelace, and I'm recommending here that we hire these seasonal maintenance workers to work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because that seems to be when we have the biggest need at our park and all of our parks, really, is weekend help. So as we recommend these, I'd like to recommend that we do that for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday schedules. First one would be Russell Lovelace.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Magistrate Wilson, second by Magistrate Wilden. Any further discussion?
Yes. Are these in addition to the personnel we had there last year?
Russell was there last year.
Okay.
He was off, now we're rehiring him.
Okay,
And then Rock Hendricks is a new hire. He'll be the next one we.
okay, so we're adding an additional personnel to,
But we've lost one.
okay, we lost one and this is.
Lost a full-time.
So in other words, there's no additional,
Part-time's replacing a full-time.
right,
That's correct.
okay.
So first, we've got Russell Lovelace. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, then the second one I'd like to recommend is Rockland Hendricks. He will be, like I said, we did lose a full-time maintenance this last week, so he will be coming on part-time,
Motion.
place. So we have a motion by Magistrate
Second.
Wilden, second by Magistrate Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Takes us then to our department reports. First, the road department, we have your road work request in front of you, and I don't know if we have a speed limit sign there. Does anybody have one?
Do we need to approve J.C. Tucker for that Dropbox amount?
It's on your list, so if we'll do speed limit first, and if,
Where is the speed limit,
I don't
Judge?
think there is anyone. I'm looking, I don't think there is, so we can make a motion to accept the road work request as a whole.
Second.
A motion by, was that Magistrate Wilden? And a second by Magistrate Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And then we have a request for 3,000 ton of rock.
Motion.
Second. Motion by Magistrate Wilson, second by Magistrate Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. And then we have a request for 400 ton of hot mix.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Magistrate Wilson, second by Magistrate Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? And we have Danny here with us today. We've got our solid waste next. We've got a 2021 budget. And I guess we don't actually need to approve the budget. We just need to
Make a note of it that he
note
turned
that
it
he's
in.
turned it in, right? Is that all we need to do for this one?
Yep. You make note of that?
Put that in the minutes, please. And then he has requested to hire seasonal employees. Says the 109 Board recommends the hiring of the following employees for seasonal employment, starting day of July 1st. The 109 Board will pay the salaries of these employees. So we've got Caleb Moser and Alex Smith. Seasonal hires for solid waste.
Motion.
Motion by Magistrate Turpin,
Second.
second by Magistrate Ranshaw. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And then we've got, in the jail, we've got the electronic cigarette bid, which we accepted for review at the last court meeting. Now we would ask that you accept it was the sole bid turned in, so we would need to approve that so that they can.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Magistrate Strunk and a second by Magistrate Wilson to approve the electronic cigarette bid. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And then we've got another resolution, and I'll let BJ summarize that for us here.
Yeah, this looks like it's an amendment to the health services agreement. Essentially, it states that the county is elected for mobile dental services to be made available to the county through SHP.
Southern Health Partners.
Southern Health Partners. All right. So that will amend the health services agreement to allow that.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Magistrate Wielden, second by Magistrate Ranshaw. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Brings us to our treasurer report. John, you want to take us through that?
Why, sure. Of course, a lot of this is housekeeping. This is the final everything of the year. So yay, tomorrow is New Year's Eve for me, so I'm a happy person. First, I have the bill list.
I've received a copy of your bill list. Be your pleasure.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Motion by Master Trunk, second by Master Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Have a split vote. Roll call, please.
Turpin,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Wilden,
Yes.
Ranshaw,
No, because I never received mine in the mail to review.
Strunk.
Yes.
So Judge, Mark brings up a good point. I think let's look at the road work, for example, had 15 or 20 pages in his district, that it costs money and tile and rock and time and fuel. How are we going to continue doing his work if he's going to keep voting to pay that bill, not pay the bill? Because everyone else is paying for maintenance in his district.
Well, we've voted to pay the bills just now, so we're going to pay the bills. But
Wow.
And Mark, just to let you know, yours went out with everyone else's,
I just didn't, I
It
can't
was-
vote on something I can't review. I'm not going to do it.
and it was, everything went out, you know, we got the mail Friday morning, because this is the one where everything needs to get done, has to get done. April took them to the post office, watched her do it. She makes them all go, she tells them all to be mailed local. And
I got mine Saturday.
And
I
it's,
don't
you know,
know.
everyone else got theirs. I mean, I wish, you probably maybe you need to talk to your mail person.
I mean, that doesn't, the problem is, I will not vote for anything I don't receive or review. So I didn't receive it, so I couldn't review it. It's 27 pages long. I can't sit here and review it now. So that is why I'm voting no on this bill list.
I could
And if
have,
somebody, I mean, I can't
it was
help it.
mailed out. If you would have let me know, I certainly could have given you a copy over the weekend to review, but I didn't know until just before the court meeting. So I'm sorry that you didn't get it. I'm not the one that mailed that. I have no control over that, but it did get mailed out apparently.
And we have no control over the mail either.
Did everybody get theirs on Saturday? Did you?
I got mine on Saturday.
Yeah, I did too.
So, anyway, you've got 4 masters that reviewed it and they're okay with it, so you're certainly free to not vote for it if you'd like. So the
Okay.
Motion carried next.
The next item we have is, this is an emergency budget amendment, due to COVID and all the time-sensitive issues with budget, et cetera. This does have to be an emergency. Alicia, please kind of put in the minutes as to that this is an emergency and reasons why, and a lot of excess fees coming in, or not excess fees, but unanticipated fees. So we do have a budget amendment. Of course, budget amendments, as with budget transfers, they are housekeeping issues, so. That's all.
Now, with that, does that require a first and a second reading?
No, due to the fact that it is an emergency, it only requires one reading.
Motion.
Second.
A motion by Master Strunk and a second by Master Wilson. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
The next item I have is our budget transfers. This also is a housekeeping issue. And Mark, let me start by apologizing because I know this was in the bill list packet. So therefore, you know, and I busted my tail because usually I don't get these in the packets, but I busted my tail to get it in the packet. So I do apologize that it was not in yours, or, you know, you didn't receive it. But these are housekeeping issues. They're required for the auditors. So that's what I have for this, for budget transfers.
So this is to balance this year's budget.
It's not to balance this year's budget. This year's budget is balanced, but it takes and I gave this example earlier. If we have an account number, and I'm just gonna use miscellaneous as an example, and in the approved budget, it has $1,000 in that line item. And for some reason, 2,000 was spent, it would show a negative $1,000. The housekeeping of this takes that $1,000 from an account that has money and puts it into that so it doesn't show as a negative.
So balance out the line items.
Balance out the line items, but not balance the budget. The budget is balanced.
So I just
I mean,
want
if you say balance the budget, that makes it look like,
to balance the line items.
yes.
I just wanted everybody, including the general public, to know
Well, and I
why
just-
we're doing this.
Yes, and I just want the general public to know that the budget is balanced.
Motion. Have a motion by Master Wheeldon,
Second.
second by Master Strunk. Any further discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
Oh, sorry, Judge, I kind of got sidetracked. These are the last item I have are fund transfers, and I changed that cockeyed date and forgot and didn't save it, obviously. But the fund transfers are for 6/29, if you would note that. Jail, one of them is to jail, and it's from the grant fund because we cannot get the U.S. Marshal payment to go into the right account. They send it to the grant fund.
Always have it.
And I know, Anthony has called, I've called, and apparently it's gonna take an act of Congress to get them to change that. The other one, and I do want to explain this in case I'm cryptic and you don't get it, but the other one is, it's pending on our bank accounts. It's a deposit in the wrong account because I know it does not go to grant fund. And right now, since it just says pending, I'm not aware of where it goes. So I will, as soon as it becomes unpending, I will put it in the right account, but I know it's not in the grant fund because we do not have $153.46 coming into grant fund. I have an inkling of what it might be, but until I know for sure, I did not want to put where it is going to. But as soon as I do, I will find it out. I will put it in the correct account, and Alicia, I will let you know for the minutes.
Can you also let us know?
Well, absolutely.
Thank you.
I might just, you know, it doesn't go in Joan account, so I'll tell you that much.
We have a motion then to accept the fund transfer based on, subject to her letting us know where that ends up.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Master Strunk and a second by Master Wilson. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That is all I have except one little minor question. We brought this up before, and I think that it needs to be revisited again, but not, it's just a comment. We talked about the vacation sellback. I've heard from some magistrates that it would be better off if we don't change this due to the fact that the employees weren't aware.
Leave it alone.
We'll just leave, that's what I wanted to say, but I wanted the public to hear that, and the employees that want to, use this benefit, that,
Does anybody do it?
We can't really.
some do, some don't.
Yeah, we need to stay on track here, the special call
Well,
meeting.
I just,
Because it's a special call
right,
meeting, we can't. bring
I know, I
everything
just
up.
wanted to make that statement that it's not, doesn't need to go in the minutes, it's just a statement for everybody in video land.
Okay. Well, thank you, Speed Director, for coming in attendance today. If we weren't on a special call meeting, I would invite you to speak to our group here today, but with no further business, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Wilson, a second by Strunk. All in favor? Opposed?